Good afternoon, CFM. Welcome to your Friday workout. Got a lot of options, a lot of flex Friday-ish stuff to get to today. So let's begin with some warm-up. We're gonna do every round of the warm-up. I want you to do 2 little 20-second bursts on the jump rope, then get some air squats with a good stretch at the bottom, and then get some band face pulls. So the face pull, main thing to remember here on the face pull is that as I pull towards me, I'm going over the top of my head and trying to keep my elbows at approximately 90 degrees and then reaching back out. I want to make sure I start with a little bit of tension in the band. So don't start where the band is floppy like this. I get nothing out of this. There's no tension, no muscle activation with the band in that floppy state. So use the small band and get some good tension on there to warm those shoulders up, and then do a handful of handstand kick-ups if you can do them on the floor like that. Do a little walking if you want to, or you could do it against the wall, or you could do some pike walk-ups with your feet on a bench. Lots of different options, but get upside down just a little bit. And then I want you to get your barbell, and real quick, we're gonna do some clean skill work. So the intent with which I have written today's program is not to do 8 heavy sets of cleans and take the entire session to do it. It is like to take, say, 10 to 12 minutes total between warm-ups and the actual 3 sets of 3 cleans to do these, and just for skill refinement. So other days I have said, if you're gonna do the cleans today, I want you to be very competent, because we're gonna pump up the percentages, and if not, then we're doing something else. Today is a day where if you're brand new to cleans, or if you're still working on the skill of the clean, then it is a great day to work on some of the like teaching points or getting better at it. And if you're already very good at cleans, then it's going to be more of a faster aerobic style or barbell cycling workout for you, okay? So the clean today, again, starts from the ground. We forcefully drive the legs into the ground, extend the hips, jump, pull, catch at the shoulders in that power position or lower, and then stand to full extension before we bring the bar down, okay? That is the clean. I want you to do 5 sets of 3, working up from empty barbell up to somewhere in that like 30 to 50% range, but you play that by ear and do what feels right. What we'd like to see is that at the top end of our cleans today, we're just starting to see technique faults, right? That's usually where the best learning occurs. Learning doesn't occur with a completely awful lift that you're proud of because it was really heavy, right? That's not a good thing to base your training on. But learning also doesn't occur by doing the same lightweight over and over and over again, okay? So we have to give you enough challenge that we start to see those speed wobbles in your movement, okay? It's a total of 8 sets, so it'll be 5 warm-up sets and 3 work sets, 3 sets of 3, your choice on the percentage, but just make it applicable to your goals. The other thing on the cleans is that if you wish to get the later stuff that I'm about to talk about done, then you should probably be doing these approximately every minute on the minute, right? If your goal is a lot of work on the cleans, then maybe drag it out a little bit longer, spend a little more time resting, and add more weight to it, okay? But from here on out, the rest of the hour is going to be more free floating in terms of you getting what you want. So make sure that you look ahead to all the different things that are on the menu today and prioritize your time based on what you would like to get done, all right? Next is going to be moving on to bench press. This is a deload week for bench press, which means last week was pretty heavy, and we're going to go a little bit lighter on the bench press this week. So it's 3 sets of 8. Deload percentages are in the 40 to 50% range, right? But make sure that every time we have the elbows straight at the top, we contact our body, right? So I'm touching my sternum with the bar and my elbows are tucked down somewhere around a 45-degree angle away from my body. So I don't want my elbows up here, and I don't want to stop where the bar hasn't touched my body yet. I want to make sure I come all the way down to contact and then reach up to full extension. We have 2 superset activities. One is a shoulder rehab circuit. It's 90 reps total, 3 30-rep sets. And the way these work, this is gonna feel similar to the pace of the sun gods, right? So I'm gonna start laying down, prone position, palms facing up, and I'm just squeezing my arms away from the ground. 30 reps like so. And then a little bit more challenging, I'm gonna turn my palms facing down and same movement, right? Reaching up, just squeezing, little quick pulses of my shoulders. And then the final one is palms out to the side like this. And if you really want to do something challenging, you can reach overhead. This is really tough, right? You could do that as the coach's challenge variation. But each position, 30 small pulses of the arms upward away from the ground, elbows straight the whole time, and make sure you pay attention to those hand positions because that influences where your shoulder is at, okay? And the last one is ab mat sit-ups, so just grab your ab mat. If you would like to do another variation of the abs for 20, that is totally fine. Ab mat sit-ups is just one of my favorites, okay? When you're finished with that, sled, carry, grip. This one is where you're gonna have to make a choice. Like, how many rounds of this do I do? How fast do I push it? Because there's other stuff at the end that you may want to prioritize. So I said 2 to 4 rounds. That's a pretty wide range. You do what you feel is right for the volume for today. But one round is going to be a sled push down and back with 2 plates, 1 plate. This should be a fast sled push. It should be a sprint with the sled. And then drag outside your kettlebells, right? So you'll have your 2 kettlebells, and you're gonna do as heavy of a kettlebell farmer carry down and back in the parking lot as you can without dropping the kettlebell or having to break halfway, right? So make sure that you think about that, because if you need to switch your kettlebells, you're gonna have to bring them all the way back inside and get the other pair and then bring them all the way back outside, okay? So just have a good idea of what you wanna do when you get out there. The next one, after you finish your kettlebell farmer carries, then you are gonna come back inside and we're gonna do a plate grip switch. Okay, so this is more grip work. So I've got my plate, I've got it near the ground, and I'm holding it in one hand and then let go with that hand and catch it with the other one, right? 20 reps total, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? With that one, obviously, you're throwing a plate, right? The plate, if it bounces funny, it can hit you in the shins. So my recommendation is just keep it as low to the ground as possible and move your hands as quick as possible. Use chalk on your hands, make sure that you don't slip with it, and be relatively confident of it. Now, if you just do this with a 10-pound plate, obviously you're not gonna get much benefit out of it. But if you do it with the 45-pound plate and it slips and hits you in the shins, there's a consequence to it. So find that middle zone, again, kind of like similar to the clean, right? If you do it too easy, you're not gonna get anything out of it. If you do it too hard, it could hurt you, right? So find the middle zone where it is giving you an appropriate grip stimulus as well as the neurological stimulus of grabbing something that's trying to get away from you, right? Then the next one is a 30 rep plate front raise drop set. Okay, so drop set, we'd like to have 2 drops. So you're gonna have 3 plates out, just holding that plate out in front of me, athletic stance, pushing it up in front of me just above parallel. When I feel like the movement's starting to slow down, I'll set that plate down, grab the next lighter one, and continue repping until I get to 30 total reps. And when I finish my shoulder raise drop sets, then I'm gonna go to the bar and we're doing a 30-second plus monkey hang. So it means wherever you're at, I want you to start with a hard version of the monkey hang. If you have to put your tippy toes down to make it to 30 seconds, then put them down. If you wanna make this even harder, then you can start doing grip switch variations like reaching down, touching your hips, right? Or you can do one arm for 10 seconds and then switch to the other arm for 10 seconds, but get at least 30 seconds, and I would say no more than about a minute every round, right? So make it hard enough that you have to come down after a minute, unless you're Kurt and he just hangs up there for like 10 minutes at a time, okay? All right, and that is the sled carry grip component. You will feel the metabolic impact of this. You will get your heart rate up, but it is not specifically for time, okay? So I just make sure that you're putting enough effort into these, that you're feeling it, but that you're resting in between efforts so that you're not failing or using bad technique, okay? The Flextra credit is at the end. If you wanna do this, I would probably cut 1 round or 2 rounds off of the sled pushes. But finish with your choice of 100 reps each of a bicep curl and a tricep extension. And the way we do this is we get big sets, we go to failure, and then we switch. So if I start on the triceps with the band, right, you can choose whichever version of triceps that you like the best. Do 2 arms at a time, so you're not doing a single arm and taking a long time. But I'm doing tricep extensions. Let's say I get to 30, and then I would go over and get my band, and I'm doing 30 reps of a band curl, or trying to get close to a similar amount, right? But we're looking for large sets, lots of muscle fatigue. When I hit failure on this one, I'll go back to the other one, and I'm just keeping a running count in my head of where I'm at. So if I hit 30 on that last one, then I'll pick up where I left off. I'll go to each of those, get 100 reps. When I'm finished with 100 and 100, then I'm using the band, and I'm doing 2 sets of 12, 12, and 12 band shoulder exercises. So the first one is a band upright row. So I'll stand on top of the band, and then I'm just pulling with my palms facing my body until the band gets to my chin, 12 reps of that. Then I'll do my 45-degree raise. So now I'm standing on it with 1 foot, arms out at a 45-degree angle, and I've got my thumbs pointed upward, right? 45 degrees away from my body. And then the last one is a pull apart, right? So now I'm starting with the band shoulder width with both hands, grabbing the band, elbows straight, squeezing my shoulders behind me until the band touches my chest. On the pull apart, make sure that your elbows don't bend, right? So this is not another tricep extension. This is a rear deltoid, and rhomboid, and trap exercise as we pull the shoulder blades together and squeeze that band to your chest. So get 2 sets of that. And that is the entire workout for today. Again, on a workout, on a day like today, you're going to have to choose. You're going to have to make some choices. Which ones do I want to put my time and effort into? You could spend the entire time just doing 8 sets of 3 cleans if you wanted to do that. But what I would recommend is get the skill work in, get the deload and the shoulder work in, get a couple rounds of the sleds, and then whatever extra you want to get after that, okay? That's it for this Friday. Have a great one. See you for our last Gaza prep workout on Saturday.